Bhagavadgita Adhyaya 10 Shloka 9. Macchittamadgata pranaha bodhayantah parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. In Shloka 8, Bhagavan said that the wise men worship Ishvara. Mam bhajante, Buddhaha mam bhajante. The wise men worship Ishvara. How do they worship? In what manner do they worship the Paramatma? It is described in this shloka. Macchittaha, the wise men focus their mind on Ishvara. Mayi chittam yesham te macchittaha. They fix their mind on Ishvara. Fixing the mind on Ishvara does not mean just a concentration. It also means shifting all emotional dependence towards Ishvara. In the normal course of life, we depend on various other objects for our emotional support. It may be a relation or any object like house, etc. Or it may be reputation. For our emotional support, we depend on such mundane objects. A bhakta shifts his emotional dependence from the material objects to the Ishvara. He holds on to Ishvara for his emotional support. Such people are called Macchittaha. They have Ishvara in their mind. Ishvara is the epicenter of their mind. Madgata prana. This word is explained in two ways, both by Shankaracharya and Madhusudana Saraswati. They explain this word in two ways. Explanation number one, prana is understood as indriyani, senses. The bhaktas focus their senses also on the Ishvara. Not only their mind is focused on Ishvara, even their senses are fixed on Ishvara. They want to see Ishvara, many forms of Ishvara. In our tradition, looking at the image of Ishvara is of great importance. Darshan, we call it darshan, having a vision of Ishvara, having a vision of the image. Extending this further, a bhakta wants to perceive something related to Bhagavan with all his senses, even the fragrance. He wants to associate it with Ishvara. That is why we have the incense stick, so that even when we smell, we are smelling something that is in association with Ishvara. That is why the incense is offered to Bhagavan. And even hearing, a bhakta wants to hear Bhagavan's name or chants, even the chants or songs, even they are dedicated to Paramatma. That is how, through all senses, a bhakta tries to associate with Ishvara. This is one meaning of Madgata Prana. Then there is another interpretation in which prana is understood as life. Their lives are dedicated to Ishvara. A life that is committed to Ishvara. A life that is committed to bhakti. A bhakta finds meaning in life only in Paramatma. That is why we find songs where the bhakta says, "What is the use of these eyes which have not seen the form of the Lord. What is the use of these legs which have not visited the holy places, the sacred places associated with the Lord? What is the use of this tongue which has not sung Bhagavan's glories? And so on. A bhakta finds meaning only in Bhagavan. Therefore, Madgata Prana, every breath of life is dedicated to Ishvara. There is a form of life which is absolutely materialistic. If you look at some people in their life, there is no room for Ishvara, a totally materialistic life, a totally secular life. You can find many such people nowadays. If you look in their house, even when they plan to build their house, they will not plan any puja room in their house. That is why when you visit their house, there will not be any puja room. There will not be any picture of devatas. Absolutely secular houses. And they lead an absolutely materialistic life, eating, drinking, etc. It is one form of lifestyle. Then there is another form of lifestyle which is predominantly materialistic, but there is some element of bhakti. A small part of life has the Ishvara. Once in a while they may go to temple. They may have a small altar in their house. Even though they don't have a dedicated puja room, somewhere in a corner, they may keep some pictures of the devatas. It is another type of life, predominantly materialistic and moderately spiritual. Then there is another type of life where Ishvara takes the central stage of life. Ishvara becomes the epicenter of life. In our tradition, it was the normal life. A normal householder's life. I am not talking about a sannyasi's life. A normal householder's life was centered around Ishvara. An Ishvara centered life. A life dedicated to spiritual practices. A grihastha will do all other works. He will have to earn money. He will have to support his family. Despite that, the priority of the life used to be bhakti, being connected with the divine. And it was visible in their lifestyles. They would lead a austere and disciplined life, performing all their duties, performing all the puja, etc. That used to be a normal life in an Indian household. And such lifestyle is conducive for spiritual advancement. Such people can easily become machittaha and madgata prana. Bodhayantah parasparam. Bodhayantah. Even when they teach to their children or to their students, they will teach about Ishvara. The spiritual knowledge, the knowledge of Ishvara was transferred as a family tradition in our culture. Therefore, even when they teach their children or their youngsters, they will speak about Ishvara. There is Ishvara. And what is the glory of Ishvara? What is the vibhuti of Ishvara? When they teach about Ishvara, even that helps them in remaining connected with the thought of Ishvara. And then parasparam kathayantascha. Even when they discussed with their equals, with their friends or relatives, when they were speaking, when they converse about Ishvara. There was no room for gossip. Nowadays, when you want to speak to somebody, you have to find some topic. But in our tradition, we have a default topic, and the topic is Ishvara. They will discuss about Ishvara. Maybe they will talk about Ramayana or Bhagavata or some great bhakta, a sadhu. Therefore, such bhaktas, even when they speak casually, they will speak about Paramatma because they want to remain connected with Paramatma. When any conversation drifts towards worldly matters, such people will not like it because it takes them away from the thought of Paramatma. Nityam tushyanti charamanti cha. And such people who lead such a life committed to Paramatma, a life committed to Bhakti, what do they gain? Nityam tushyanti and Nityam ramanti. They are constantly happy, constantly ramanti. They find joy. They revel in the thought of Ishvara. They find joy in being connected with Ishvara. And not only ramanti, tushyanti. They are satisfied. They are contented. Tushyanti means they don't want anything more. I want to think only about Paramatma. What I want in life is to remain devoted to Paramatma and keep thinking about Paramatma. I don't want anything else in life. This kind of contentment is referred to as tushyanti. They are satisfied. They are content. Shloka 10. Tesham satatayuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhiyogantam ye namamupayanti te. In this shloka, Bhagavan explains where the bhakti leads to. A bhakta who is committed to Bhagavan eventually attains jnana. Atmajnana. And the Atmajnana happens as a result of the grace of Ishvara himself. Therefore, Bhagavan says, I bless my bhaktas with the Atmajnana. See, Tesham Satatayuktana. Such people, the people who are described in the previous shlokas, they are Satatayuktaha. They are constantly committed, ever committed to the Ishvara. Ishvara is the only priority of life. Therefore, they do all the sadhanas that keep them in the thought of Ishvara, that keeps them steady in the thoughts of Ishvara. Such people, bhajatam priti purvakam, they worship the Ishvara with the great devotion. Priti purvakam bhajatam. They worship the Ishvara with great devotion. To such people, tam buddhi yogam dadami. Bhagavan says, I grant them buddhi yoga. Buddhi yoga means Atmajnana. I bless them with Atmajnana. This should be understood properly. It does not mean all of a sudden the Bhagavan lifts his hand and the Bhakta gets Atmajnana. It is not so. As a result of bhakti, the Bhakta is totally prepared for Atmajnana. He gets all the qualities that are required to pursue the Atmajnana. In addition to this, he finds the circumstances that are favorable to Atmajnana. In other words, Ishvara facilitates their pursuit of Atmajnana because the Ishvara makes a guru available to him and he finds a proper guru. He finds a time to get upadesha from the guru, to do shavana from the guru. That is how eventually he gets Atmajnana. And what does the Atmajnana do? Yena mamupayanti te. As a result of the Atmajnana, they attain Paramatma. Paramatma Prapti happens with the Atma Jnana, with the self-knowledge. So bhakti leads to jnana, and jnana leads to Paramatma Prapti, which is also Moksha Prapti. Paramatma Prapti is Moksha Prapti. Next shloka. Teshamevanukampartham ahamajnanajantamaha नाशयाम्यात्मभावस्थो ज्ञानदीपेन भास्वता ददामि बुद्धियोगं तम्. I bless them with buddhi yoga, with atma jnana. This statement is being explained in this shloka. Why Bhagavan gives them atma jnana? Bhagavan says, I bless them with atma jnana on account of compassion. Tesham eva anukampartham. What does Bhagavan get by giving atma jnana to his bhakta? Bhagavan does not gain anything. In fact, if you get atma jnana, nobody is going to gain anything. In fact, some people will only lose. The Shastra says that the Devatas don't want human beings to get atma jnana, because as long as the human beings do not get atma jnana, the Devatas can make use of them to accomplish their work. That is why Devatas will try to create obstacles in the pursuit of atma jnana. That is why in the Puranas we read, if somebody is doing tapas, Indra tries to break his tapas. In order to break his tapas, Indra will send somebody to disturb him. Therefore, many people don't want you to get atma jnana. In many cases, even your family members will not want you to get atma jnana. Some people will discourage. Even when you are listening to Bhagavadgita, somebody will discourage you. Why you are wasting your time? Therefore, if you get atma jnana, who is going to be benefited? only yourself. Therefore, Ishvara does not have anything to gain if you get Atmajnana. Yet, he blesses you with Atmajnana. Why? On account of compassion. Anukampartham. Out of compassion. Aham Atmabhavasthaha. I am present in their antahkarana, in their mind. Being present in their mind, I destroy their ajnana through the light of jnana. Bhasvata jnana deepena. Through the light of jnana, lamp of jnana, which is effulgent, brilliant, bhasvata, brilliant light of knowledge. With that, ajnanajam tamaha nashayami. I destroy the tamaha. Here, tamaha means delusion, brahmaha, delusion. The world is real, Jagat is Satya. The world can give me permanent happiness. Such delusions are caused by ajnana, ignorance. Therefore, it is called ajnanajam tamaha, the delusion born of ignorance. Bhagavan destroys it with the help of the light of jnana, light of atmajnana. From this shloka, we should understand that to get Atmajnana, one should have a strong grace of Ishvara. Ishvara Kripa. Without Ishvara Kripa, Atmajnana is not possible. One may get some understanding of what Vedanta is trying to teach. One may get some understanding of the philosophy, some information. But the information is not adequate to destroy the ajnana. What really destroys the ajnana? It is a proper knowledge, which is described as bhasvata jnana deepe, a shining atmajnana. And such a shining atmajnana is possible only by the grace of Ishvara. Therefore, a seeker of atmajnana should have utmost devotion to the Ishvara. Without bhakti, without devotion to Ishvara, it is not possible to get Atmajnana. That is why Shvetashvataropanishad says, Yasya deve parabhaktihi yatha deve tatha gurau tasyaite kathita hyarthaha prakashante mahatmanaha. One who has great devotion to Ishvara and he has the same amount of devotion to the Guru also. To such a Mahatma, a seeker who is a Mahatma, who has got purification of mind, to him the teaching of Vedanta unfolds itself. Means he understands the truth that is revealed by the Vedanta Shastra. Therefore, bhakti plays a very prominent role in the pursuit of self knowledge. Arjuna uvacha param brahma param dhama pavitram paramam bhavan purusham shashvatam divyam adidevamajam vibhum. Ahustu. Okay, let's read the following shloka also, because these two shlokas are interconnected. Ahustva mrishayas sarve devarshirnaradastatha asito devalo vyasaha swayam chaiva bravishi me. Arjuna uvacha. Now Arjuna is speaking. In fact, Arjuna intends to request something. He intends to request Bhagavan to elaborate on his vibhuti. Therefore, he begins with the glorification of Bhagavan. Initially, Arjuna glorifies Bhagavan, and then he will request Bhagavan to speak about his vibhuti. Param Brahma. Param Brahma. So here, these are all in Dvitiya Vibhakti. They are all qualifying Tvam, which is there in Shloka 13. Tvam Sarve Rishayah Tatha Devarshihi Naradaha Asitaha Devalaha Vyasaha Param Brahma Param Dhama Pavitram Paramam Pavitram. Sorry, here first line is Prathama Vibhakti. First line is different. Yeah, Bhavan Paramam Brahma. You are Paramam Brahma. You are the Parabrahma, the Supreme Brahman. Arjuna is telling Krishna, you are the Parabrahma. Krishna is an avatar, and the avatar is nothing but Parabrahma. The Parabrahma himself manifests with the help of his Maya in the form of Krishna. Therefore, Arjuna says, Bhavan Param Brahma. You are Parabrahma. Param Dhama. You are the ultimate goal. The ultimate goal on reaching which people do not return. Yadgatvana nivartante tadhama paramam. Bhavan paramam pavitram. You are the greatest pavitra, the greatest purifier. Pavitra means one who purifies. Bhagavan is the one who makes everything pure. Means if you attain Bhagavan, you become pure, free from all papa. Therefore, Paramam Pavitram Bhavan, you are the greatest purifier. Yeah. Now, second line should be connected with Shloka 13 while doing Anvaya. Arjuna is describing what other rishis, what the rishis say about Bhagavan, how the rishis describe Bhagavan is being said in the second line. Purusham Shashwatam Purusham. So, Bhagavan is Purushaha. He is the Purusha. Purusha means Brahman. Purnatvat Purushaha. The all-pervasive Brahman is called Purusha. Shashwatam, eternal, Divyam, Effulgent means Chaitanya Swarupa. Adi Devam, he is Adi Deva, being the cause of all the Devatas. He is Adi Deva. Even the Devatas originated from Paramatma. Therefore, he is called Adi Deva. Ajam, he has no birth, free from birth, free from beginning. Vibhum, all pervasive. This is how the rishis describe Bhagavan. Tvam rishayah sarve, all rishis. Naradaha devarshi, devarshi Narada, all rishis, and especially devarshi Narada. Narada is a devarshi. Even the rishis are classified into various groups. Devarshi, Brahmarishi, Rajarshi, etc. Devarshi means they are devatas. They have the status of devatas. And they are also rishis. Rishis because they have received mantra, mantra drashtara. Being devatas, they are rishis. Therefore, they are called devarshis. One such devarshi is Narada. Tatha Asitaha Devalaha. Another rishi is Asitaha Devalaha. Asitaha Devalaha is only one person. They are not two rishis. Asitaha Devalaha is one rishi, another rishi. Vyasaha and Vyasa. All these people describe Bhagavan as stated in Shloka 12, second line. Purusham Shashwatam Divyam Adidevam Ajam Vibhum Ahuhu. They describe you so. And not only they describe, Swayam Chaiva Bravishime. Arjuna is telling Krishna, even you yourself describe me in the same manner. You are describing yourself in the same manner, validating what the rishis said. Even you have attested the statement of the rishis. Therefore, the rishis are not wrong. Therefore, you, the Bhagavan, is really great. Arjuna has no doubt about the greatness of Bhagavan. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.